Welcome to the Eclectic Thrifter and Crafter, where we thrift and craft with purpose. It's Smalltalk Sunday, so let's see what mischief I've got myself into. It all began with an abandoned box of doll furniture, and very soon you're going to see the finished piece, and hopefully I have achieved my goal of it looking something like this. But in the meantime, this is what it looks like where I live. We have several fires all around us. A lot of this smoke is from Kelowna, Canada, but we do have fires about 10 miles away from here. Two areas have been evacuated. One is near mountains. The other one is near the National Forest on the other side of the lake behind me. But this is what it looks like. And remember this holiday picture? Very pretty. Well, this is what it looks like today. There's fire just on the other side of those mountains in the distance, and that is an area that's been evacuated. But by Christmas, it's going to look like this again. So on to our project. So I'm going to catch you up on some of the goings on this summer. And in this video, I am making the window seats for the tower rooms. Wonderful veneer. So I took a day and I made the window seats for the tower rooms. Each of these seats will be placed under the windows. I used the 2-inch veneer, and I also used 2-inch insulating foam. My son had a couple of large sheets of this, and he gave it to me to make shelves for the beehives for the winter, and the remainder I used for the build. Now I did experiment. You cannot put the iron directly on the foam because it's going to melt. So you can either put the iron on the veneer face down and then hold it tightly, or we can try it this way, which I did. Either one works, whichever is more comfortable for you. But I just rested it against the iron and watched it bubble, and when it bubbled, I knew it was time to adhere it to the foam. But I love the effect of the curved wood. It looks very craftsman-like. I did appreciate how they all turned out. They will all be stained walnut, just like the library shelves and the floors. The other executive decision that I made, especially after I had to retrim the walls around Mother's Day, I chose to not make all of the trim in the house a dark walnut. I chose to mix it up a little bit and make the door casings and the casings for the archways white, so it brightens up the house. One of the other things I did is, you're not going to recognize any of the wallpaper, because when I had to trim the walls vertically, I also had to go back and do it horizontally. So I decided at that time I was going to change the wallpaper, and I made it more color coordinated. I did find some wonderful William Morris wallpaper, and I made my own wallpapers from that. So you'll be able to see that in a couple of weeks when I do the reveal. Right now, the outer doors of the project are being paper mache'd, and all the stonework is sheets of paper mache. I showed you the mold that I had made for that paper mache. So that's what's happening right now. So we're just going to recap, and I'm going to share with you some of the things that I accomplished this summer between family visits and other family illnesses and things like that, and company and everything. Did get a lot of work done, but editing took time. I won't be able to start on a lot of the smalls until September, and September I'm probably going to be doing the electrical as well. I can run the round wire through the house myself, but a friend of mine, her husband is an electrician, so he's going to, I showed him panels that I want to put in the build so that I could switch off rooms individually and turn the fireplaces on and off in the summertime versus the wintertime. So those things are going to be done September, October. That's going to be fairly easy, and it will be ready to display by the holidays, but you'll have a reveal long before that. I do have a lot of the lighting, especially that my friend Lisa, her kind sister Chrissy, donated a lot of lighting. So that's wonderful. Those run on batteries. So those can go in the areas of the library. At the end of this video, you're going to see how I had to reverse engineer the roof and adjustments that I had to make to the library, which ended up requiring, the library is going to end up with a balcony or a second floor, which will probably become an attic. One of the videos coming up before the reveal is my selection of the stairwell. That one took me a long time to land on a decision because I ended up combining two different designs. So that's coming up, and that stair will be painted white just like all the trim, and I'm really happy for the design. And I did have to make a few adjustments for that stairwell, but it was okay. That's what prototypes are for. This is not something that has been designed on paper. It's something that I had to design myself. This little tool is for pedicures and manicures, but it comes in very handy for small jobs in the garage. So they're not very expensive, but they are wonderful for doing small sanding jobs. It's very, very handy. I was delighted the way the window seats turned out. At the end of each window seat, there's going to be a bookshelf. So each tower is going to have, on each floor, there'll be a bookshelf on each side, and then the window seat. And yeah, I was able to successfully add the necessary level to the one tower when I had to cut down the walls. There'll be steps up into the tower in the second and third floor, but the first floor remains the same. It'll all work out. I solved a lot of problems, prototype problems along the way. It's probably between, family and everything, and people being ill. Probably what's taken me the longest is the learning I had to do along the way, and then the executive decisions I had to make along the way. So as much as I wanted to set goals for myself, my goal setting was successful in that I was able to get a lot of work done, but probably frustrating for a viewer because it didn't happen when it was supposed to happen. But it is what it is. I've never done this before. I'm also doing this by myself. And I'm basically working with a drill, a jigsaw, a scroll saw, and just whatever tools are on the desk. I don't have anyone with carpentry knowledge to help me out. I just have to make it up as I go along. So that's the experience I'm having. But I think I'll be very happy with the results. I think you'll be very happy with the results when I share them with you. There might be little delays here and there if I see adjustments. I do have to make executive decisions along the way. The last thing I'm going to do after the paper mache on the outer walls has dried is put in the windows. Those will be the very, very last thing that I do. I have one dormer that I do have to construct, and that goes on, well, two dormers, one on each side. That's on the roof. You'll not see that in the picture that I'm going to show you at the end, but the roofing has not been completed yet until I get the dormer on there, and then I can lay down all of the shingling. On the window seat, I did double layer the veneer on the top. You don't see that here, but I did double layer the veneer on the top. The build looks heavy, but it's really not. And as I attach the doors, I'll weigh every piece, and I'll give you a total weight at the very end. So here are the window seats, and as I said, they'll all be stained walnut. So here you're seeing that I solved my structural issue for attaching my hinges. One tower will be fixed on the front of the house. On the back of the house for the dining room tower it's going to articulate out. This additional tube is where that wall is going to fit snugly when it closes against the towers. The center wall between the towers will have a fireplace on each level, so when it opens out you'll be able to see the transitional living room into the dining room, as well as the dining room bay window. In order for the roof line to match the picture that I selected for my model for this piece, I did have to raise the walls of the library about 3 inches, and so that's what you're seeing right now. Here you're getting a glimpse of the stairway supports, and I'll be getting that video edited soon, and you'll get to see that. The hardest part of this project was reverse engineering the roof. Very difficult to do. A lot of cutting, measuring, recutting, sanding, measuring, recutting. That was probably the most difficult part of this entire project. So it has been a very busy summer. I will have a thrift this week. I do apologize for any delays on getting videos up, but it's just been one of those summers. Thank you so much to all my subscribers. Please like and subscribe and share my thrifting and crafting channel with your thrifting and crafting friends, and help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. I welcome your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. Check us out on Instagram and tap that notification button for upcoming announcements of thrifts and crafts. But most of all, have a lovely, lovely day.